In the past few months, there's been kind of a question circulating around the internet, and that question is, could a single Navy SEAL take down an entire Roman legion? And there's been a bunch of videos about this, but every single one of them has been hypothetical. They've considered factors like how much ammo does the guy have, how far away and such, and you couldn't get a straight answer. But then I realized that I could literally just simulate what would happen right here. So today, in Worldbox, I'm going to be spawning down a single Navy SEAL Marine, what do you want to call it, on the left, and then an entire Roman legion on the right. How big is a Roman legion? I don't actually know that. Oh, okay, it's about 5,000 to 6,000 troops. That's a lot more than I thought. So if the Navy SEAL cannot defeat the Roman legion, we are going to see how many Navy SEALs it would take to defeat the legion, but let's get started. Naturally, for our Navy SEAL, we're going to use Navy SEAL. And this dude is already pretty sweet on his own. But to make this even more realistic, I've installed the modern box mod right here, which gives us a whole array of modern weapons and armor to choose from. So if we go into the loot rain right here, we can select modern military armor, a grenade, and a health pack. And then, of course, as we scroll down, our weapon. And to keep this realistic to our time period, I'm just going to go with a simple M4A1. Then we're going to rain all of this down on our soldier right here. And I've also gone through the process of making all of his armor legendary too. Now he has up to 1.1 thousand health and does a great sum of damage. And a soldier like this deserves a great name, Michael. Oh yeah, that fits. We'll get a favorite Michael. Now he is going to have to take down 5,000 legionnaires. And for them, we're just going to go with basic humans. So, yeah, this is going to take a while. I'll be right back. And here they are, all 5,000 of them, nice and neatly placed. And you know what, for even more realistic accuracy here, let's just look at the armor and weapon composition of what a Roman legionary would use. So it looks like they primarily used iron and bronze, at least for their armor, and pretty much exclusively iron for their weapons as well. So for this specific experiment, we're not going to use bows or anything that can be thrown anyway by the Romans, because that might be able to get them. Just imagine 5,000 arrows flying at this one dude. So for the helmet, I'm going to go with bronze armor, just for the fact that it looks cool as hell and kind of accurate. But the rest, we are just going to go with iron. And for the sword, we will also go with iron as well. So now we rain this down over them, and our boys are ready to fight. I'm going to give all of the Romans the golden egg desire, and I'm going to give our single SEAL here the ethereal harp desire. So finally, with everything in place, Romans versus Navy SEAL, let's see who wins here. And he starts shooting. Okay, wait, hold up. He's going in to fight himself. He was shooting at first. What's he doing? This isn't going to end well for him at all. Although he is taking down a bunch of Romans, I figured he would just shoot from afar. Is this maybe working? Okay, well, I didn't think they would manually be fighting the dude. And he seems to be crippled now. Oh, Michael, this isn't ending well. He has killed several of the Roman legionnaires, but all things considered, he didn't even get close. There's still 4,952 left. Look at them all running around the map. But to be fair, Michael didn't even shoot for at the start. So we're going to try that fight just one more time to make sure that that result was accurate. Alright, so he wakes up here and now he's starting to shoot some more, but once again, they just swarm him. And he's still able to get a couple of kills in here, but you know, when there's quite literally thousands of Roman legionnaires not even going at you at the current moment, and just a couple of dozen of them are overwhelming you, it's not necessarily a recipe for success. And he is doing better this time, but not good enough. Looks like he got about 50 kills. Actually, as a matter of fact, he killed almost exactly the same amount there. So it seems like, at least in this scenario, one Navy SEAL can only kill about 50 Roman legionnaires. But like I said, now we're going to find out just how many Navy SEAls does it take. So now we have 16 Navy SEAls. And as you can see, it's just a bunch of clones of Michael because I'm really lazy. And the reason there are 16 of them is because this is how big a platoon of Navy SEAls is. So can one platoon take out one legion? Well, let's find out right now. They will wake up and they're finally starting to unleash some hellfire. And it's actually hard for a bunch of the Roman legionnaires to reach them. But as more more and more move in, a bunch of them, they're gonna start overwhelming them. Oh my god, that's a bunch of them. There are a couple of Navy SEALs just on the front line here. They're actually taking the brunt of it. The first Michael has perished though, while the rest are just staying back, opening fire. And they have done a lot of damage, but they haven't even made a dent into all the Roman legionnaires here. And in a realistic Roman scenario, they'd be running at the Marines all at once here. Oh no, and it seems like when some of the Michaels die, their weapons get torn against them, which is unfortunate. Just a couple left here, and with the Romans now using some of the M4A1s too, this is kind of going to be over, isn't it? The last Michael has ran away with 1 HP. All of his family and his brothers have died. He himself has 93 kills, but he isn't long for this world, and he perishes too. But a lot more progress was made. Let's see how many they killed. Just 16 more of them were able to kill almost 1,200 Romans. But nonetheless, in case you didn't notice, 3,800 is still a crap ton, meaning that we're going to have to multiply the SEALs numbers even more if we want to even get close to taking these guys out. So now we are going to go with 96 Navy SEALs. Yeah, I could have just gone with 100, but this is 6 platoons of Navy SEAls, and we still have an entire Roman legion here. And I think that these guys can do it. If the exponential trend we saw in the last round meant anything, these 96 Navy SEALs, or 96 Michaels, depending on how you look at it, I think they're very capable. But if a few of them fall, like we saw last round, some of their weapons will slip into the hands of the Romans, and that could be a serious issue too. Either way, let's begin. As we can see, 96 of these guys could absolutely rain hell. We're absolutely churning through the Romans as they approach here. But like I said, I'm worried about some of these Michaels on the front lines, because if they end up dying, who knows what could happen. I mean, some of the Michaels back here are just taking naps. They don't even have to do anything. This dude right here got 5 kills and decided to just take it easy. Not a single SEAL has fallen yet, and they've already killed the same amount of Romans as last time. But the rest of the Romans have finally just woken up, and they are beginning to clump into large groups. As from what I can see right now, we still haven't lost a single Navy SEAL right here, but this Michael right here looks like he's about to get murdered as he's being swarmed by quite literally thousands of Romans. And he will be the first to fall, meaning that at least one gun is in Roman hands here. And here's the guy with a gun right here, Gino, and he killed another one. Oh no, this could be bad. But this Roman legion right here was absolutely picked off, and only 3 SEALs have died compared to well over half the Romans. Well, clearly at this pace, if just a couple of Romans kind of get picked off at a time, there's no question on if the SEALs will win or not. So with the remaining Romans, to give them a fighting chance, I'm going to grab the rest of the SEALs and then encircle them with the Romans to see if they can hold them off that way. So here's my best attempt at making an encirculation. There's about 1,400 Romans left compared to almost all of the SEALs. Let's see who comes out on top. And clearly when the Romans can begin to push, it gets a lot more difficult. A lot more hand-to-hand combat has to take place. But the lines quickly dissipate by the SEALs taking care of business, and their numbers begin falling. There are just 7 Romans left, now 6 that are quickly being found and picked off. And that is all of them done. So it took 96 Navy SEALs to take down an entire Roman legion. But if you're thinking what I'm thinking, we could take this one notch higher and make this potentially game-breaking. So for this last experiment, we're going to have our 96 Navy SEALs here in the middle, just like last time. And on the right, we are going to have an entire Roman legion as well, but also on the left here. For the final challenge, we're just going to see if 96 Navy SEAls, 6 platoons, can defeat 10,000 Roman legionnaires, 2 Roman legions against my puny little 96 Navy SEALs right here. Even though the Navy SEAls easily won last time, I'm not sure if my Michaels right here can stand up to 2 legions, especially since they're on opposing sides. But let's just find out for this final fight right here. Press unpause and watch the chaos begin. The Navy SEAls are smartly trying to split their resources on both sides. My game is actually starting to lag a bunch. It seems like last time, some Navy SEAls have gone on their own path here, which I don't think is a very smart idea. But it seems so far that not a single Michael has died, and they're actually going about this pretty smartly. They've taken out, looks like about a quarter of the Romans already, and they haven't even lost one yet. They're actually doing better than last time. Oh, they lost one. Okay. One has fallen, but other than that, they seem to be doing just fine. But it appears that a lot more Romans on both sides are charging, and it's like a realistic formation, honestly. They're making like a spearhead into the Navy SEALs. The only issue that the SEALs face here is just, are their lines spread too thin? And it looks like a lot of Romans are kind of just not doing anything and sleeping. They must be too far away. But maybe since they all have the golden egg desire, we could spice some things up right here and put the golden egg right here in the middle, meaning that suddenly all of the Romans are going to be charging towards it. Oh, the SEALs destroyed it. Okay, well played, but still nonetheless, it did bring a ton of Romans in. But there are 92 Navy SEALs left to just a couple thousand Romans who are falling rapidly, I have to say. They're being crunched in. We can see that their little blue areas beginning to narrow down as all of the Romans are making a last second charge. But the SEALs are working overtime and their numbers are clearing up, and there are almost no Romans left. That might be all of them right there. Wow. And there goes the final Roman. 96 Navy SEALs, who only lost 17 of them, were able to take out 2 entire Roman legions. But anyway, now it looks like some of the SEALs are beginning to actually fight one another. The SEAL who lived and had the most kills was Michael. I forget they're all Michael, aren't they? So it doesn't really matter. But he was able to kill 184. But anyway, that video was a lot of fun. If you guys have any video suggestions that you would like to see me do, just join my Discord and put them in there, because that's the place I'm most likely to actually see them. But anyway, if you made it this far in the video, clearly I did something to entertain you. So I would appreciate it if you would click the like and subscribe button on your way out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.